Hey everyone, it's Carissa. Welcome to Satur-YAY, where we're celebrating the weekend by getting our craft on. Today I'm going to be creating a graduation shaker card. I'm going to be using this Advent stamp set from the Essentials by Ellen line. I'll be stamping the numbers 2016. I bet you couldn't have guessed that. It is 2016 after all. But before I stamp that, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my card base as well as a card front. And I've created these out of some textured white linen cardstock from the Essentials by Ellen line. My card base measures 4¼ by 11 inches. It's scored at 5½ inches. And my card front measures 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And I've gone ahead and stacked those on top of each other so that they're centered. And I've ran it through my Big Shot machine using this speech bubble die. This is from the Lawn Fawn Stitch Journal Card die set. So now I'm left with a speech bubble window on both my card front and my card base. I've gone ahead and set my card base and my card front aside, and now I'm taking my Stick-It adhesive and I'm just taking a little piece and applying it to the back of this gold glitter cardstock. I like to really burnish this on. This is a double-sided adhesive. So once I run this through my die cut machine, I'll end up with this really nice intricate die, but it will already have adhesive on the back of it. And so for that, I'm using this Congrats die. This is from the Essentials by Ellen zipper panel die set. And I did go ahead and switch to my precision base plate to cut that out to make sure I got through all of those layers, and it did cut beautifully. I used that same die also to cut some black cardstock that had some Stick-It adhesive on it as well. So I have that all set aside, and now I'm going to do my stamping. So I've taken the numbers 2016 to kind of spell out. I guess it's spelling. I don't know. It's just numbers. Is it spelling if it's just numbers? I don't know. I've stamped out the number 2016. I've embossed it with some super fine detail gold embossing powder. And now I'm just taking my scissors and I'm going to cut all around this. Now there are coordinating dies for this stamp set, but I wanted this all to remain as one. I tried these as individual numbers to put inside of my shaker window, and I just couldn't handle that those numbers weren't staying in order, so I went ahead and cut them all out as one big piece. So now it's time to make the pocket for my shaker window. And what I'm using here is an Avery Elle stamp pocket here. I've got a double layer of that. And now I'm attaching that speech bubble die using a little micro pour tape to that double layer of the stamp pocket. And I'm going to use my fuse tool here and just fuse around about 2/3 of it. I've gone ahead and slipped that number inside of it before I fused it because that's going to be the largest item that I'm going to place in there. And once I get it fused around about 2/3 of it, I'm going to take a really fancy funnel here that I've made using a scrap piece of computer paper, and I'm going to slip it down into the opening that I have in that shaker panel pocket. Shaker panel pocket. And now I have a mixture of some seed beads and sequins, and I'm just pouring them down into the funnel to get them into that shaker panel pocket. And once I get all the guts inside the shaker panel pocket, I cannot get over saying that, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and fuse this all the way shut. So now that all of my guts are sealed right inside of there. And now I'm just cutting this out using my scissors. And I did leave a little bit, maybe about 1/8 of an inch around the outside sealed edge of that so that I could attach it onto my card base. In order to attach it to the card base, I just used a little HEG adhesive around the outside of that window. And then I'm going to press this pocket onto that card base. Now you can see over on the right hand side of my screen there that I did go ahead and switch out the card front for a little bit of pattern paper. This is from the Basic Gray B-Side 6x6 pattern paper pad. I cut that same window right in the front here. And now I'm creating a layer of gold glitter cardstock to go behind that card front panel. Now I wanted to kind of preserve some of my gold glitter cardstock here. So I'm using this aluminum rail Fiskars trimmer to just trim out the center of that piece of gold glitter cardstock. And I can use that piece of cardstock for something else. And then since this is a glitter cardstock, I did want to make sure that I used a really nice strong adhesive to adhere this pattern paper onto it. So I just used some of the Be Creative tape. I think it's the 1/4 inch that I used here. And I put it all around the outside of that pattern paper panel. Now, because the bulk of this shaker window is going to be in that cutout area, you could actually adhere this card front onto the card base using some regular tape runner adhesive. But I chose to add a little dimension, so I added it on using some foam tape. And now I'm going to take the 2 Congrats die cuts that I have. They both have Stick-It adhesive on the back. And I'm peeling off the backer on the glitter cardstock piece. And I'm going to just kind of overlay it over the top of that black cardstock piece so that I create a little bit of a shadow here. And since the adhesive's already on there, I don't have to worry about any kind of adhesive smushing out from the sides or anything. And once I got those layered up so there was a nice shadow or outline on that congrats, I went ahead and attached them to a piece of the Essentials by Ellen vellum, my favorite vellum ever. And you can see here, I'm just using my grid mat to make sure that I get that die cut sentiment nice and straight onto that vellum piece. And then I'll use some of the Cool Tack clear foam adhesive right behind that to attach it onto my card front. And if you've never used this Cool Tack clear foam adhesive, it's great for things like this. It hides very nicely, but let me just tell you, removing the backer from it can be quite the booger. So use your patience, okay? Now I decided I wanted this die cut window to go all the way through. So I took the positive piece of that speech bubble. I put it inside the window that I had created earlier, put a little bit of tape runner adhesive on the back of that so that it would stick to the back side of my card base. And now I'm just attaching the die right over that so it kind of fits in there just like a puzzle piece. It kind of locks on there. And then I'll run this through my die cut machine and create the window through the back of the card front as well. Now you can notice here that I am not putting the portion with the card front through the die cut machine, just the bottom of the card base, because I don't want to smush down all that stuff that I just put on the card front. And once I take off that die, you can see I have a really cool shaker window, goes all the way through the card. You can see right through it. Isn't that cool? So there you have it, a really fun idea for a totally see-through shaker card with a little shaker card window, perfect for graduates in your life. This one is actually going to my 17-year-old daughter who is graduating from high school this year. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. I also made another one for my niece with her school colors. This has a little bit of green and white and gold because those are her school colors that are in the shaker pocket there. As always, I will have links to all the products used in these projects over at the Classroom blog, and you can find the direct link to that post below. I will also have featured products linked in the description at YouTube. All of these products are available for purchase over at the Ellen Hudson online store, and I'll link to that below as well. Thanks for watching today. I hope you have a happy Satur-YAY. Get your craft on, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.